Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. And today we have a Glen Garioch on the cask. And I have to admit something. I have not been to the distillery of Glen Garioch yet. And that's because I only did Speyside and Eastern Highlands, Southern Highland, not Eastern Highlands, Northern, I didn't do it Northern. I did some other various Highlands, Southern Highlands, Isla, and I've never done any Eastern Highlands. I've been to Aberdeen, but I haven't done any distilleries near Aberdeen. And Glen Garioch is one of the, or I think it's actually the most Eastern Scottish distillery. Yeah, and it's very far, not very far away from Aberdeen. So if you ever fly to Aberdeen for some reason, it's not a big airport, but you should take a trip from there to Glen Garioch, because it's a cozy Scottish, don't want to say little, but a cozy Scottish distillery with very wide, fat pot stills. And also it has a style that is rather sweet, bit spicy as well. And today we're gonna try something, a cask finish. So it's not the standard 12 or 15-year-old. It's the Glen Garioch 1999 wine cask matured, and it's a French wine cask. It's from the Château Lagrange since 1999, and it was bottled 2018. So it's a limited bottling. What are we gonna expect here? It says a result of fruity, sweet and spicy, and I think that really fits together with the character that represents Glen Garioch, because they are very much on the sweet and spicy side. Loose cork. And Glen Garioch is one of, whoa, I can already smell it. Glen Garioch is one of the oldest distillery, and you can see it here on the cask. The cask says 1797. So you think to yourself, how can it be established 1797 if it's in the Highlands? And that's because the Highlands and the were loosely defined. What you now have defined as Highlands is pretty much a geological Highlands. We have them in the lowlands. The lands are lower and the highlands are higher, and that's why they call them Highlands. Pretty obvious. But back in the days, they went in a bit more distinctive between living in the highlands and living in the lowlands. Was a big distinction, because people in the lowlands were taxed, and in the highlands you were mostly not taxed, as far as I know. So for example, they couldn't tax the alcohol in the highlands, so it was illegal in the highlands. So a lot of illegality going on in the highlands, a lot of whiskey distilling, and so they defined lowlands everything they can reach. And as Great Britain, the taxman was a naval power, they defined all the parts near the coast as lowlands. So yeah, coast is lowest, so you have them as lowland. That means that Aberdeen was actually located in the lowlands. True story. But in the taxable lowlands. Geological, everything below the northern, the certain line where Glen Garioch is at, is called Highlands. But from the taxable region, there were a lot of lowlands there as well. So it's a very fruity, grapey, a little bit of dark chocolate in there. It's how old is it? 1999 now, I have to calculate. So it's 9 years old. That smells a lot more mature, but probably due to the wine cask influence. And you do realize it's one of these heavier wines, really dark wines, really intense wines. I don't like these wines because often they are just too dark, too bitter, too hard for me. but an influence in my whiskey is very much appreciated. So, nutmeg, chocolate, dark chocolate, especially dark chocolate, a lot of grapes, a little bit of leather in there going as well, a lot of oak in there. So it's a really dark and complex whiskey, even though it's just 9 years old. Sounds really strange. Okay, so the first sip comes on very sweet. And then you do realize a lot of spiciness, a lot of volume, a lot of intenseness in there. That is some intense, I wanted to say sherry whiskey, but finished wine cask whiskey. And you do realize it's a heavy, dark French wine. I don't know if any of you buy any wine from Château Lagrange. Lagrange? I don't know. If you do, please write me in the comments how that French wine tastes, because in my whiskey it's awesome. So second one adds to the intensity for the first one, and it's just incredibly strong and flavorsome, dark chocolate, a lot of spices. This is how a 20-year-old whiskey should taste like, but it's just 9. So I'm not sure how much it is. I think it's around 80, 90. So I would say that's a bargain. I've put myself a little bit much in there because it's 48% ABV, and that really adds to the intensity as well. I like it. And I'm really curious now about the distillery of Glen Garioch. But hopefully that whole situation, pandemic, is gonna end, and I'm gonna be able to travel again and gonna find Glen Garioch at some point. That would be really, really nice, and gonna show you in a video. So thank you very much for watching. Keep being subscribed on this channel here, and see you next time.